Hey everyone, and welcome to RUBIN'S Mind Lab, where we break down the latest research into what it really means. Ever wonder if therapy AIs can actually help people feel better, or are they just fancy chatbots? Well, today we're diving into a fascinating new framework that asks just that. This paper is asking a really important question: can AI, like ChatGPT, actually help us with our mental health in a meaningful way? Now, we've seen these AI tools become super popular, and they can sound really empathetic and smart when we talk to them. They can even answer complex questions about things like mental health. But here is the catch. Basically, while they might be good at having a conversation, they haven't really proven they can help people get better in the long run. The scientists behind this paper say there are a few big reasons why. First, they think current AI doesn't have enough understanding of how clinical psychology actually works. It's different from just giving information. Second, most AI chats are pretty short, like a few minutes. But real therapy usually takes months, with many sessions. If AI therapy is only a few minutes long, it is probably not going to make a big difference. Remember when apps and digital tools were supposed to revolutionize mental health? Well, a lot of those didn't quite live up to the hype. They often failed to keep people engaged, and the real-world results weren't as good as in studies. This new framework, called EBP-AI, tries to make sure AI in mental health doesn't suffer the same fate. It is like a set of rules or principles for building really good, helpful AI for mental health. This framework has 8 main principles. Think of them as the building blocks for a safe and effective AI therapist or helper. This means the AI needs to be good at figuring out what kind of mental health issues someone might be having. It's not just about recognizing general sadness, but understanding the specifics. It is like a doctor needing to diagnose a problem before prescribing medicine. The paper stresses that just asking how someone is feeling isn't enough. Real therapy uses structured interviews and careful assessment to make sure they're not missing anything important, like other conditions that might be happening at the same time. And sometimes, even when they have the tools, real therapists don't always use them as much as they could. The authors worry that AI might fall into the same trap, making quick assessments instead of thorough ones. This could lead to misdiagnosis or missing serious problems. The good news is that AI can actually get really good at analyzing language, like what you type or say, to pick up on signs of mental health issues. They can analyze things like social media posts or even free-form answers to questions to estimate how someone is feeling. This could make assessment more accessible and continuous. It's not just about what's wrong, but also what's going right. This principle says AI should also look at things like how well someone is functioning in their daily life, their quality of life, and even their strengths. Mental health isn't just the absence of illness. It is also about well-being. This sounds complicated, but it basically means the AI needs to remember what you've said over time and build a picture of what is going on with you. It is not just about this one conversation, but about understanding patterns and how things change. Therapists create what is called a mental model of their patient. They connect the dots between thoughts, feelings, and behaviors over many sessions. The paper says AIs need to do this too, not just react to each individual message. A big technical hurdle here is memory. AIs can sometimes forget what was said much earlier in a conversation, which is crucial for building that long-term understanding. Mental health isn't static. Our symptoms can go up and down. The AI needs to understand this and not just see every assessment as a final fixed diagnosis. It needs to recognize that today's snapshot might be different from tomorrow's. This one is all about giving the right amount of help, not too much, not too little, and the right kind for the specific problem. You wouldn't treat a broken leg with the same approach as a headache. Similarly, different mental health problems need different types of therapy. The AI needs to be able to figure out what's going on and then pick the right intervention. The paper warns that giving the wrong advice or therapy can actually do harm. This is why the AI needs to be smart about matching its tools to the problem. Therapy works best when it is given in enough doses. Think of it like taking medicine. You need to take the full course. The AI needs to deliver enough of the right kinds of interventions. Studies show that more therapy sessions and more practice outside of sessions leads to better outcomes. The AI needs to be designed to encourage this kind of consistent engagement. Sometimes you might only have a few minutes, other times longer. The AI should be able to adjust what it offers based on how much time you have. It's like a therapist knowing when to do a quick check-in versus a deeper dive. This principle is about checking if the AI is actually helping and knowing when to change things or stop. If someone isn't getting better, a therapist will change their approach. The AI needs to do the same. It should monitor progress, and if things aren't improving, it needs to adjust its strategy. This is a key part of good therapy. The AI should have built-in ways to track how you're doing and adapt accordingly. This is super important. The AI needs to be able to spot serious risks, like someone talking about self-harm or suicide, and know when to get human help involved. The paper mentions that some AI systems are already trying to do this by having separate systems that look for these risky signs. This means that AI tools need to be tested properly, just like any other medical treatment, and on real people with mental health issues. We have ways to know if a therapy works. These involve looking at symptom improvement and long-term results. The AI needs to be evaluated using these same rigorous standards. The authors point out that most AI mental health tools are still in early testing, not full-blown clinical trials with people who actually have these conditions. Testing AI on made-up scenarios or healthy people isn't enough. It needs to be tested on the people it is supposed to help, in real-world settings. This is a big gap. If we don't test AI with diverse groups of people who are actually experiencing mental health problems, we won't know if it truly works for them. This is about making sure the AI can actually be used in the real world, not just in a lab. It involves practical things like how it fits into existing healthcare systems and how people will use it. The people who will use the AI, like patients and therapists, need to be involved in creating it. This helps make sure it's user-friendly and actually fits into people's lives. People tend to stop using digital health tools after a while. The AI needs to be designed to keep people engaged long enough to actually benefit. This is a huge challenge for digital health in general, and AI will face it too. The paper strongly suggests that humans should still be involved, at least for now. This is for safety, to make sure the AI isn't saying anything harmful, and to help with engagement and knowing when to escalate to professional help. This principle focuses on how the AI talks and interacts. It is not just what it says, but the tone, the empathy, and the way it guides the conversation. The authors say that current AIs tend to agree too much or jump to giving advice too quickly. Real therapy often involves asking more questions and helping the person discover their own answers. This tendency to be overly agreeable, called psychophancy, can be problematic in therapy. It might make someone feel good in the moment, but it doesn't help them grow. Therapies often teach skills that people need to practice. The AI shouldn't just do the skill for you, like rephrasing a negative thought, but should teach you how to do it yourself. Just like with human therapists, AI needs to be sensitive to a person's cultural background. What works for one person might not work for another, and the AI needs to be aware of these differences. This is about AI not just being a tool for treatment, but also helping us learn more about mental health and how therapy works. Sometimes we don't fully understand why a therapy works. AI could help by constantly measuring these underlying reasons for change, like how certain beliefs shift, and use that information to improve treatment. Psychology is always evolving. AI systems could be designed to automatically update themselves with the latest scientific findings, making therapy more effective over time. This is the most exciting part. By interacting with millions of people, AIs could generate massive amounts of data that help us understand mental health and treatment in ways we never could before. They could help us discover new treatments, understand why some treatments work better for certain people, and even personalize therapy on a huge scale. So, where does this leave us? The paper concludes that while AI has amazing potential, current systems, especially the ones we can all try right now, are simply not ready to be primary mental health providers. They lack the memory, the understanding of nuanced clinical processes, and the safety protocols that real therapy demands. But the researchers are optimistic. They point to things like better ways to train AIs to think more like clinicians, using multi-agent systems, where different AIs handle different tasks, and ensuring they have all the relevant patient information. They emphasize that the really tough challenges aren't just technical. They're about how to integrate AI into healthcare systems, manage legal responsibility, and get people to trust and use these tools safely. They also discuss how the way we train AIs right now, focusing on immediate user satisfaction, might not be the best for mental health. We might need to train AIs to prioritize long-term clinical benefit, even if it means being a bit more challenging or less immediately pleasing. It is also crucial that AIs are continuously monitored once they're out in the real world. Just because an AI works well in testing doesn't guarantee it will behave perfectly with actual patients. And because AI technology moves so fast, traditional clinical trials that take years might be too slow to evaluate new AI tools. They suggest we might need new, quicker ways to test these systems. Ultimately, this framework is about not just adapting existing therapy for AI, but reimagining mental health interventions from the ground up, using what AI can do to create something even better. So, what's my take on all this? This EPA framework is incredibly important. It gives us a much needed roadmap for developing AI in mental health responsibly. It is easy to get excited about the latest AI chatbot, but this paper reminds us that with human well-being on the line, we really need to be thorough and evidence-based. The idea of using AI to gather huge amounts of data and discover new insights into mental health is mind-blowing. But the emphasis on safety, rigorous testing with real people, and the need for human oversight is absolutely critical. I think we're a long way from AI fully replacing human therapists, and honestly, maybe that is not the goal. The future might be more about hybrid models where AI acts as a powerful assistant, making therapy more accessible, informative, and personalized, but getting there requires us to be super careful and follow principles like these. What do you think about AI and mental health? Are you excited, skeptical, or a bit of both? Let me know in the comments below, and if you found this breakdown helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to RUBIN'S Mind Lab for more dives into the fascinating world of psychology and science. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.